Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. For the Buffalo offense coming out, and it is Josh Allen who is at the helm.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both, and at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Okay, partner, a couple points of interest right here, all right? Offensively, we see that they came out throwing the football, but maybe more importantly, the blitz that came defensively, they got right after it.
And the pressure gets to him again. Going for the sack by big Jalen Carter. Boy, how about this to start a ball game? That's twice in a row now, Charles, that they get to it.
And how often do we talk about offenses that operate off of a script to begin games? Feels like this defense had their script together on this one, and their script said put the quarterback down and do it fast.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Returnable here from the 38. They juked him. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Brown the motion man right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. A tackle made by Dorian Williams.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Hurts. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That's Matt Milano firing in from its linebacker position.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were.
And how about this, a fake? And this is dropped. Oh, boy. A chance for a big play early, but he could not secure it. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 33, here's a 2nd down and 4. Throwing now is Allen. Over the middle, complete. It's Coleman. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Allen to throw it. Over the middle, it's complete. Touchdown, Bills. Dalton Kincaid, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bills will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Here's Hurts to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
Buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Matt Milano, that is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
On 4th down, they're going to try the jet sweep. And he's going to be out of bounds, a few yards shy of the line to gain. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. So just shy of midfield. They tried it. Didn't work out. What did you think?
I thought that they should have punted the ball away. Should have gotten rid of it and played defense with better field position. Look, I'm as aggressive as anyone wanting to go for it on offense, but in this situation, it doesn't.
First half.
I don't know that there's any risk. I mean, what's the reward for your risk here? I would not have done that. My only explanation is this coach, he may want to be up here in the booth with us. We may have a 3-man booth starting next week if he keeps up with those decisions.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it. and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Allen now on first down. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, Allen. This to the tight end, Kincaid. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Bills' passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Allen looks to throw on 2nd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That is caught. And the Bills are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Davis is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip?
That's caught. Kincaid for the Bills touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bills will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Britton Covey going to bring it out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Sliding out of the pocket. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And they've been kept off the scoreboard in this first half, but here toward the end, they're trying to change that in one fell swoop, but that winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. In motion right is Brown. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Barkley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They've been burned twice already on 4th down, but the 3rd time's the charm as they keep the drive moving.
Partner, do we have a medic here? Can I get a cold compress from my head right now? Watching these play calls, I know that they're in the red zone, but he's in his own red zone, not the opposite red zone to decide to go for it. How did this happen?
Hey, risky, but it paid off. But I agree. You keep calling plays like that, you're going to need a lot of antacids on the sideline. Apologies to Coach. Cut him short. We'll talk to him post-game. We got business to get down to. 3rd quarter action ready to go. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Well, they come out and take a look at him. We will step aside for just a moment. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Up the middle with Barkley. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in, went heavy. No surprise, I knew he was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. Being chased out left. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. He'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
They'll run the jet sweep with Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And he will get into the end zone to cut the deficit down to 4. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a one-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a one-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Cooper will come in motion right. On second down, Cook. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. Second and 14. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Darius play with a pick. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution. Not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
On first down, Hurts escaping the pressure right. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the first down. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. That's Gregory Rousseau getting in there to bring him down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now they send a man in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. From the gun, it's Hurts. Rolling to his right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Eagles are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns 3rd and goal into a touchdown. Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the 4th as the kick's away. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. A tie game in the 4th quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Allen's throw taken in by Samuel. On the move past the 40. Down the right sideline. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 62 yards. And the Bills answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. An extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles now down 21-14. A little under 2.5 to go. They'll have 2 timeouts and, of course, also the 2-minute warning as they go to work on 1st down. Smith will come in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep.
That kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now 2nd and 4. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is third down now.
They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. Dancing to his left. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Davis.
And he will have a Bills first down, and that should be that.
It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the in your mouth. Come on. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.